What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys will help us get there. Alright, so today, I don't even know where to even begin with this because I was really shocked by this. Marvel was reportedly eyeing Shia Labeouf for MCU role before sexual battery lawsuit. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have they not seen what the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing has done to Fantastic Beasts? Why would you ever think that someone that has been so out of touch with reality for so long would be a good fit for an MCU role as a superhero? Like, who is the person that does these casting calls for this? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that just blows your mind because it's like you know that Shia LaBeouf is not going to. He's going to have some kind of controversy following him. He's always been that type of character. Like ever since he grew up, of course, child actor, all that kind of stuff, real successful, got into the Transformers movies. But there was everybody thinks, well, he's proven that he can be in kind of like a movie like that, because he's in Transformers, so he could, hey, let's make him into a superhero. You gotta be kidding me. Like, this guy is a walking time bomb when it comes to just destroying his own career. You have to realize that if you cast him in any kind of movie involving the MCU, you could bring down not just that particular movie and that particular character, but you could bring down all of the MCU with it. Everything that they've worked up to this point would just be completely gone. That's really crazy to me. I'm glad now they're backed off of it. But what if this sexual battery assault thing had never happened? Do you really believe that fans would be excited for this? Like, do you really believe that whatever character he played, fans would be like, yeah, that is the guy we want for that role? According to this article of Screen Rant, their excuse was, well, we made Chris Pratt, Paul Rudd, and Robert Downey Jr. into superheroes. Now, Chris Pratt and, of course, Paul Rudd have never had, any kind of problems. But let's face it, Robert Downey Jr. at one time was known as a washed-up actor. He had all these drug problems that kind of derailed his career. He had never... he just didn't seem like somebody that could take on a role as a superhero. They took a chance with him, and he rewarded them with it. But the thing was Robert Downey Jr. was on his way up, not on his way down. Shia LaBeouf has just, since Even Stevens has been on a slow trajectory downwards. And not to say he's not a bad actor. That's the sad part about it. He's really not. I've seen him in countless movies that I was like, okay, you know what? He played a really good role, especially when he was younger. I've even enjoyed some of his roles since he's been a grown up. But it's just he brings way too much baggage. He is, to me, he represents every bad thing that Hollywood is and tries to pretend not to be. Of course, these sexual assault battery charges, they've came out. But then there was, as I mentioned before, there was the Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard situation that's been out there for really years. And then all of a sudden, people are going to act like, well, now we have a problem with it. Well, you should have had a problem with it 20, 30 years ago. These people shouldn't be in the positions that they're in. I mean, I don't even want to really even touch too much. I've already, here on Rants or Us, we've already covered the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation. Sounds like both of them did wrong in that. I personally, you know what? If you're gonna, and this is I've been really uh, good about saying this consistently. If both of them was abusers in that relationship, they both need to be fired. They need to be fired from that role. Um, but but you can't just fire one and then not fire the other one. That was my problem with it. Like, if you want to get rid of Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, fine if you want to do that. But don't leave Amber Heard in Aquaman too. Like, I mean, that's like crazy. That's just like, that's a double standard that should not exist. Like, abuse is abuse is abuse. Like, it's like these are the problems with Hollywood just in general, where normal people have to explain that to Hollywood because Hollywood doesn't really quite understand it. They try to say they understand. They try to say, well, we're woke. We understand this. They try to preach to us about things that are kind of really common sense things, and they try to act like they're some kind of extremely knowledgeable about the situation, but they're not. And well, let me just put it this way: I don't want to judge everybody in Hollywood of the same brush because they're not. But let's face it, that's the reason why these award shows have been going down steadily, is because people look at these actors and when they see how degraded everything has become in Hollywood, and then they see these smug people getting up there and patting themselves on the back, and then going up there and preaching to us about who we should vote for, what we should think, all of this kind of stuff. And then the only reason why that they've started doing something about this sexual abuse stuff is because it's trendy. I mean, how crazy is that? That doing something against abuse is trending, and therefore that's when they want to do something about it. That should just be kind of common sense. There's abuse, do something about it. Like, it shouldn't have to be something trending on Twitter for it to be something that is important to get rid of. That's crazy. I mean, it's just, these things, I'm passionate about that because it pisses me off so much. It pisses me off that even somebody like Shia Labeouf even has a career, to be honest with you. I mean, in a lot of different ways. I mean, this dude is a creep. Like, come on. This dude's a creep. Like, I don't care if I've liked him in some movies. I don't want him necessarily in this movie. I'm not saying he should be blacklisted. The dude gets his stuff together. You can welcome him back into the fold. I say that for anybody. I think Robert Downey Jr. is a very good example of somebody that got welcomed back into the fold once he got his act together. And I think that's what happens. I just feel like when you keep, with these actors, when you keep sending them down this trajectory by giving them more acting roles and more popularity, more money, then you're just increasing their bad behavior. That's terrible, I think. But I'm disappointed in the MCU that they would even have considered Shia LaBeouf. Like, I really am disappointed by that. And they're going to be like, well, now we've changed our mind because of the sexual battery lawsuit. Well, this hadn't come to fruition. You can't tell me something else wouldn't have come to fruition about it. And would they have done like they did with Johnny Depp and maybe, I don't know, recasting or done something along those lines? We'll just have to see. I think it probably just comes down to this. Has to do with whether or not it's trending on Twitter or not at that time. And if they think they'd get away with it, they probably wouldn't. So that's the way I feel on Hollywood just in general. I know a lot of people feel that way about Hollywood in general. It's just not me. Normal, average person that sees all of what's going on thinks this is stupid. This is just idiotic that we allow these people to have these roles. We give them so much money, and then they just do all these terrible things. And then we got to act shocked that they did them. Well, we keep, in a lot of different ways. We keep going to the theaters and seeing them. We keep buying the tabloids that about their personal lives and how they're train wreck, and people kind of enjoy the train wrecks a little bit. And I think that's the reason why Shia LaBeouf has even had a career at all, is because he's great for the tabloids. But man, I just feel like in this world, as bad as what 2020 has been, I just wish that 2021 people would get their act together. Wish Hollywood would get their act together. I wish the average person would be like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done with all this stuff that's on that's going on with these sports people. I'm done with all this stuff that's going on in this Hollywood stuff. I'm done with it. Let's remarket this, rebrand this, and maybe make this something. Make it into something that we all can be proud of to get to see again. Not push these people so much like Shia LaBeouf. That's my personal opinion on that, and that's fine. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying blacklist people. I'm just saying, don't keep adding to their problems by continuing to give them roles. Make sure that they get the help they need. And if they are on the trajectory up like Robert Downey Jr. was, then give them a chance. I just don't feel like Shia LaBeouf was ever that. I feel like it's gone downhill for the last, I don't know, decade. And I feel like no one's really doing anything about it because they just keep giving him more money and adding to his problems. That's just the way I personally feel towards it, guys. But let me know what y'all think down below. And as always, thanks for watching.